and gentlemen, let's meet driver the number 83, James McFadden.
Get asked a lot what it's like driving a sprint car, and I can never answer it.
The beautiful thing about sprint car racing is how pure the cars are and how simplistic they are.
So you're basically strapping yourself into a rocket ship. You have to respect what you're getting into.
You're in something that is basically uncontrollable and you're trying to control it.
Sprint cars, they're the most challenging race cars, I think, to drive, just because of how quick things happen.
Your mind has to process very quickly, and if you don't, you're probably gonna crash.
Go! Big racket turn number 3 and 4.
It's a lot of finesse and feeling your tires and trying to create drive. You're trying to hit these marks that can keep the car driving all the time.
It really shows in a wing sprint car how tough it is to time out your moves. It's more like a chess match.
The ability to get in one and control something that's kind of uncontrollable is so cool.
Then when you finally get on the throttle to go green, your head's back in the seat.
It's just a dangerous sport, everything about it.
It's one split second and you're hanging on for dear life.
You always strap in knowing that anything can happen out on the racetrack.
I've never seen my face when I crash either, but I would imagine it's something like...
Number 4, car flipping outside. Oh! He's upside down a huge way down the front straightaway.
Cars are flying apart because they're supposed to absorb the energy by just disintegrating.
Oh! Big racket turn number 3 and 4.
How many four-wheeled motorsport cars do you see bike up on two wheels, smack the fence, hit another guy, go down the straight doing a wheel stand while pulling a tail off? Just straight up badass. Until you actually get in one and think, holy this thing's not right. That's when you're like, all right, I can get it.
Middle of 2022, we're at Eldora for Kings Royal weekend, and Brad and Kyle host their press conference, and it comes out they're gonna start a series.
Highland Racing is a 52 race series this year. We went coast to coast. It was our first full year going completely national.
I did the Outlaw Tour for 3 years, and now I'm on the High Limit Tour, and it's been a breath of fresh air.
Brad Sweet off of turn number 4. Who's it gonna be at the line? McFadden. It's Sweet. Sweet got him. It's a hat trick.
Brad Sweet is at the top of his game now. He's at the top of sprint car racing.
You know, I was the golden child there, but then I left for the WWE, and now I'm the villain. I think it's just what the fans want. I love being the villain.
Rico is probably one of maybe the only driver that you could argue is bigger than the sport itself. He'll just come walking with beer. Hey dude, what's up, man? Ready to rip tonight?
Tyler Courtney, he stepped his program up big time this year.
I just raced dirt all year.
James McFadden probably was at the highest level that I've ever seen James be at.
And there it is, the shoey.
Brett Marks is just a good dude.
He's low-key, but he's there to kick your ass.
If something's going wrong, there's only one person to look at, and that's myself in the mirror.
Chris Wyndham, you could see that guy go on a tear.
Competition level this year is through the roof.
Justin Peck, Big Peck Energy. He loves that nickname.
I was always the guy that just stood on the gas throttle now, ask questions later.
Corey Day is the next big thing.
He's a superstar in the making.
It's evident to everyone in the country that this kid's gonna be the real deal.
How about a round of applause for our 16 high rollers here this year, ladies and gentlemen?
Who's it gonna be at the line? James, no!
Are you ready to go sprint car racing?
Hastings and Tyler Courtney. Everybody continues on. Lance DeWeese shows the way down the back straightaway. Freddie Raymer quickly from 4th into the 2nd spot, getting by TJ Stutz. He rounds out the top 3. Then it's Rico, Abreu, and Logan Wagner, the top 5.
Looking to go 3.
Oh, upside down, big time.
Upside down in corner number 4. The red flag is out. That is going to be the 14 of Corey Day.
And that car is mangled. Corey Day right there as well in the thick of a very, very important championship battle with the high limits, high stakes charter system as well. Got to be in the top 5 in points, and this is going to hurt pretty bad for Corey Day.
Welcome to Kubota High Limits. For the last 4 months, 16 of the best dirt drivers in the world have been crisscrossing the country, battling night in and night out for the High Limit Championship. We start our story at the world-famous Thunderbowl Raceway, the first stop on the California Swing. Big Cat Brad Sweet is sitting comfortably atop the overall standings with only 14 races remaining on the schedule.
You think racing's more dangerous?
You can really die.
Oh, jeez. We took that to the next level. Okay, cut.
California is known for producing some of the sport's most accomplished dirt track racers, including Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet, and Rico Abreu. But today, it's the young gun, Corey Day, who will be trying to write his name in the history books.
I don't know, should we do a road course or should we do a dirt track or what should we do? I guess this is about Corey Day and sprint cars, not about Corey Day and his pavement endeavors. Yeah, I think this helped me a lot, for sure. Getting a race with my friends and throw slide jobs for hours on end just gives you the picture of what it will look like in real life.
Sprint car racing for me and racing in general is my whole life, really. You just got to be a student of the sport, I think. NASCAR, there's the preferred line. Sprint cars, you can accomplish the same thing 1,000 different ways.
Here comes Corey Day. Corey Day from 15th to the lead in less than 15 laps at Lake Ozark Speedway.
I was really excited when Jason Myers Racing signed on. I knew the excitement value that Corey Day could bring.
Tonight, you can call him Corey Payday. He gets $20,000 at Lake Ozark Speedway.
I accomplish winning races different than Kyle and Brad and Tyler Courtney and Brent Marks and whoever else does. But you have to have the right guidance to be able to know how to find your way. I was very fortunate with my dad racing for 30 years and Jason Myers, who's a 2-time outlaw champion, to coach me and help me through that. But I still don't do it how they did. I have my own way of doing it.
Do I trust him? He's 18. Do you trust any 18-year-old?
I loved racing and I hate that I had to quit. I'm not retired yet. I just can't find anybody to let me drive a race car anymore.
So I raced for him, of course, my first 6 years of driving race cars, and he was dad and crew chief and driver coach and all the above.
My deal was to get him to a point where he could go drive for somebody else.
So now we're kind of just at the point where I got to tell him, like, I will need you at some point. I will come ask you a question, but until then, I don't need your input. We're 5th. I know that going to all these places, I don't think I should finish off the podium a single night this swing, if everything goes to plan for us. So I think we'll definitely gain some points back. Okay, so this is track at my house. Lucky enough to live on a couple acres where I can kind of mess around with some dirt and yeah, just build some jumps here and some berms and try this fun. I mean, I grew up racing dirt bikes, like racing motocross, and then got hurt and mom said it was time for a cage. So started racing race cars, but I never stopped riding. This is kind of my first love. Straight to the pool, huh?
No, this is gonna hurt.
I didn't know we were doing a jump.
Yeah, but there was no rules
that
stated,
was so
bro.
cheap.
You get
jump to the end. There was no rules stated. Whatever, bro. Take the cheap loss or cheap win. Take them any way I can get them, bro. That was fair. There were no rules stated.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what, I won.
Why do you think I cheated?
Tacos are ready.
When rode my Surron today? No boots, no pants.
No boots, no pants. Dangerous.
Bicycle helmet.
Yeah. No helmet either?
Bicycle helmet.
Bicycle helmet.
Yep.
That's great.
Hit the big double.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stellar.
That's not good, son.
Why?
That's why we wanted you in a cage. For those reasons right there, because you can't take the cage off and throw it away. You'd sit in it, be safe.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm still alive, though. I'm alive and well.
I'm glad. At 3 years old, Ronnie decided to buy Corey a TT50. And I'm just going to trust that he knows what he's doing, and we're going to go from there. So at 3 years old and a month, Corey started riding it around outside, and it just got faster and faster and faster. And then before we knew it, the training wheels are coming off because now we're going racing. The first time, Corey, was it the very first time you raced?
Tulare?
Tulare?
No. No, it
He
was like
raced
the
Tulare
fifth time.
a couple of times, and then he put a hole in the concrete wall.
Yep, did that.
And nobody had ever done that before. That was a scary moment. Yeah, Tulare is a track that it takes some skill, for sure. Yeah.
You have to respect Tulare.
Yes, you have to respect Tulare, for sure.
When he started sprint car racing, it got pretty serious, right? And so I set Mom down and Corey down and said, listen, you know, I broke my neck doing this, probably should have killed me. You got to understand that when you strap in, one night you may not come back.
Corey Day has it sideways, hooks the cushion, he's up and over, flipping in turn number 2, red flag.
And are you okay with that? He said, Dad, this is what I want to do. I love it. We all love it. So, you know, we're all in. Let's go do it.
We're at Thunderbowl Raceway in Tulare, California for race number 31 of 2024. This racetrack is synonymous with California.
Why is Hubert wearing a polo?
I have no, and it's like.
And why is it tucked in? And
very
look at his socks.
Good job, Corey.
Hey.
And the shoes.
Yo, nice fit, dude.
Stop looking at the shoes.
Nice fit, dude. Jesus.
Hey, you're not looking at the red hair. You're looking at the shoes. Come on. Come on. He says.
And the socks. Can't forget about the socks.
Dude, do you think this looks prime looking? Have you looked at it?
I think it looks just like it does every other time.
Probably grass on it.
Yeah. And it looks bone dry.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah. Up against the fence.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We're gonna hot lap on the fence. Might rubber.
I remember talking to Corey Day at Knoxville, and he absolutely has hopes of winning every race on the West Coast. He's good really every track on the West Coast on the schedule with high limit.
You know, I knew Larson was going to be there. I knew Brad was really good there. And Rico too. So I thought I could win for sure.
I hope it's so wet and so rough.
It's not going to be.
I know, but I hope there's a curb that big.
You know, one spot's going to happen is Shane Galloway.
And Justin Sanders. Yeah. I think either of them could win.
Yeah, Kyle's really good.
Yeah. Been 2 years, though.
Still hilarious. You know where he's going to run.
Yeah. I'm going to block his lane.
The 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion, Kyle Larson.
Our defending champion right here, folks. Give it up one more time. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me when I say this statement. Modern day Mario Andretti, right here. One of the most talented race car drivers to ever sit behind the wheel of a race car, and not just one type of race car. Guy can sit in anything.
Kyle Larson going into Tulare, he's on I think a 5-race win streak.
Comes Corey Day, he'll come up a little short, and Kyle Larson will win.
Wins Oski over Corey Day from 13th. He wins his prelim at Knoxville and dominates the Knoxville Nationals for the 2nd straight year. Him and Paul Silva are on the top of their game right now. And now he's going back to his home state, going for 25 grand at Tulare.
There's always someone driving harder than you. Always, especially like racing on the road with, the best guys in the world. I kind of pride myself and always try to be that guy that's driving harder than anyone.
Corey Day goes to the top. Brad, it looks like the track definitely speeding up right now.
That is the only place in the country that I can sit in the stands and watch race cars go around and still be giddy like I'm a little kid watching race cars.
Tulare's cool. Tulare is one of those tracks that when I think of California sprint car racing, I think of Tulare.
Tulare is a very difficult racetrack.
How you smash the fence in qualifying and then it gets technical.
That's a place you have to be on the edge of crashing from qualifying all the way to the feature.
I mean, I have a lot of experience there, so I hold the track record there. I know how the little tricks to qualify good there.
And it looks like Brad Sweet will be the fastest driver.
Tanner Holmes on the bike, and he's gonna tip it over off of turn number 2. Red lights in qualifying. Next set of cars getting set to roll out aisle the Merle Stone Chevrolet Thunderbowl Raceway. He is now a 3-time Knoxville Nationals champion. It's Young Money Kyle Larson. Lap 1 for Larson, second quick, a 13.509, 13509 for Larson.
We don't get to race with Kyle every single night, but when he is there, he always sets the bar.
We'll see if Larson has any more on lap number 2. Lap 2 for Larson is quick time, a 13.472. Here we go,
I'm Kyle Larson. I'm a professional race car driver and also co-owner of the High Limit Racing Series. I would love for us to be the premier traveling series, which I think we're really close to that already, just in 1 year. And I didn't know really who Corey Day was until 2 or 3 years ago. I think he finally started racing some sprint car stuff. But yeah, he's been killing it the last couple years, and I look forward to seeing kind of where he can go from here.
All right, Tulare, California, let those racers in the pits hear you right now. Are you ready to go sprint car racing?
The top 5 will transfer to the feature. The winner will go to the dash.
When that helmet goes on, for me at least, I just turn into a different person.
As we go to the green flag at TJ4, team race number 1.
When I was racing it, once I put my helmet on, that was my switch, and it was time to go racing. And if she came up to me and I had my helmet on, and she said, "Hey, Ronnie, I want a divorce," I would have nodded my head and gone racing.
1 lap to go for Corey Day to the start-finish line that time by, looking for another heat race win here.
I did the same sport for 30 years, and to watch him do some of the stuff he does in the race car is just, I'm blown away.
Brooks throws it in there, but not going to be close enough to make a move. Corey Day gets the win.
I've become a fan, not just dad, but a fan watching him race.
Kyle Larson and Cole Macedo lead the field to green, and DMI heat race number 2 are underway, Brad.
Yes, a lot of people compare to me, but I agree. His style is so much like mine. Out of control, but in control. Like at Oskaloosa, I felt like I had a comfortable gap, and I watched the replay, and he's on my bumper the whole time. So
here comes Corey Day. He slides up the racetrack. Kyle Larson never lifts.
I just gotta beat him with my experience right now, because once he gains that experience and calms down a little bit, he'll be really hard to beat.
Meanwhile, up front, Kyle Larson's throwing his keys on the counter and is checked out of the building.
Kyle Larson comes through 3 and 4, and he will win heat race number 2 by a straightaway.
I'm just so thankful that I didn't have to grow up racing against Kyle when I was young, because his natural talent's crazy. But we've had some good races, and I'm actually proud, to say that I've gone toe-to-toe with one of the greatest, race car drivers in this world's ever seen. 2013 Trophy Cup, we're both from California. Trophy Cup's a big 360 event in California at Tulare. It's the only time I think me and Kyle really ever got into it.
It's still a family feud that goes on.
It literally gets brought up all the time. Trophy Cup 2013.
The Larson side has one view of it, the Sweet side has another view, and that includes Caitlin.
Kyle and I are like freshly dating, so it's like, oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah, so Brad was leading, I'm dating his sister, and I want to beat him.
Kyle had come from all the way in the back and was running second to me. And if I win the race, I get maybe $4,000. If he wins the points, he gets like $20,000. So we're both in great shape to be celebrating at the end of the night. But in typical Kyle Larson fashion, he's got to make it, next level exciting. There's like a 5-lap or so shootout at the end. We have a yellow, and he's running second, I'm running first.
Wow, Kyle is catching Brad really quick. This is worst case scenario for me.
I take the white, he slide jobs me into 1 and 2. I turn back under him. Going down the backstretch, he tries to shoot around me. We end up making contact. The only time I've ever been hit in the right rear made me flip.
We both basically wrecked, but he wrecked.
He somehow, they keep the green lights on as I'm flipping, milks it to the line.
And obviously I'm lucky that the caution or the red flag didn't come out, because it probably should have, and I should have won. But I think it was such a crazy finish that the flagman was just like stuck and didn't know what to do.
I don't think I moved. My mouth dropped, and I was just like, I have no words. Shouldn't there have been a red? Kyle shouldn't have won. I made sure my brother was okay because he was still at the car, and then I said, are you okay? And I think he said yeah, I'm fine or something like that. And I was like, okay. And then I walked over to Kyle and gave him a half hug and was like, good job. And then I walked away.
Brad, his sister, and his mom and dad are the only ones that think that wreck's my fault.
We still don't see eye to eye on whose fault it was, but he could see me the whole time. I couldn't see him. Typical deal. It worked out perfect for him, and the fans loved it.
They're getting themselves prepared for tonight's 35-lap feature event. The question is, who will kick off the West Coast swing with a big win here tonight?
When you get in a car that is built for you, and the pedals are just right, and the steering wheel's in the right position, and you don't get in the car, you put the car on like you put a glove on, like it's you. I can point this thing and go wherever I want. You got that much confidence. That's when racing's really fun.
The feature's firing off now. Kyle Larson starts from 5th. There is Brad Sweet looking for his first win in 3 months. And get ready for 35 laps of action here at the Thunderbowl.
Started 4th, so it's kind of always a 50-50 if you're going to have a good race car in the first 10 laps or not.
Thunderbowl Raceway, welcome to the High Limit Room.
Going into Tulare for him, because we're home. I've won here. We're going to do good.
I started in a good spot and had a good car, and knew that if things would have went right, I had a good chance of winning.
Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green.
Down the front straightaway, a stellar start by Brad Sweet in turn 1 over Rico Abreu. Here comes quick work out of Kyle Larson, but Dylan Bloomfield challenging Rico Abreu chase.
Tulare is is awesome. I think it always rewards you for whoever can run it the hardest.
That's the thing, is you can think you're driving the hardest, and I don't think I can possibly drive any harder than this, and then someone passes you and you're like, I gotta kick it up a level. That is what makes a good race car driver, is being able to find that other level.
Kyle Larson has the right rear drilled into the cushion off of turn number 2, and he's on the back bumper of Corey Day. Now tries to float the middle. The 57 of Kyle Larson up to the 4th spot. No, he's not. Corey Day, they may have gotten together right there down the front straightaway.
Excitement watching him race with Kyle. Neither one of them will give an inch to anybody.
Yes, it absolutely is. Corey Day in that 4th spot. Kyle Larson pulls up next to him down the front straightaway. Going to take it away into turn number 1. Kyle Larson up to 4th and looking for his 6th sprint car win in a row. Corey Day back to the inside down the back straightaway, takes it right back away.
Corey Day, yeah, his car control is incredible. You know, I've followed him a lot and thought, he's crashing, and doesn't. Things just go slow for him. It's like he's playing video games.
Yeah, I definitely think I drive harder than I think anyone in the field.
I don't know if there's anybody that can go through a corner faster than he can, so he's fun to watch and fun to compete with him too.
Traffic and the view of Brad Sweet as Rico Abreu is getting familiar once again with the concrete artillery. A super side turn 3-4. He's gonna park Bloomfield. Bloomfield's upside down.
What just happened? Red flag. What is the red for? They're still going.
Well, that's going to be on to the top 5 next week. Oh my God.
What's up? What's up? Work area. Let's go. Work area. Work area.
Corey Day's getting the push. We'll see if Corey's going to go to the work area as we get a FloRacing replay.
Field just brought out the red.
The axle didn't look bent to me. It looked like just wings. Not an easy fix, not a fast fix, but it can be done. They go behind the wall, we can't see anything, but sitting in the stands, I can picture it all. His crew guys and other guys, and the wings coming off and guys putting wings on. It's chaos.
Now you're like, darn it, okay, there's still a lot of laps left. Regroup.
Get a liquor bill on it.
Obviously, watching the footage of him, in-car footage, he took that moment too.
What are we doing? Someone get a liquor bill for that thing. Close it up, guys. What are we doing?
As a driver, when you're in that position, that's what you're thinking. Just make everything tight where it's not gonna fall off and get me out there.
Let's go, let's go. We only need 1 or 2, let's go.
Give me a chance, coach. Just get me back out.
30 seconds. Let's go. Hey, everybody, let's go.
This is going to be a big restart for Larson, trying to get back in rhythm here as Corey Day has made it back on the racetrack.
Kyle Larson, he will not be charged with that caution, so he will maintain his position.
They gave him his spot back because he was spinning to a void. Controversial.
After that happens, if you know the car is still good, you dig deep.
Going back to the green, 29 laps to go for Thursday night Thunderbowl.
You get so much adrenaline going because your team got you back out there.
We're now looking that Corey Day is up to 12th, and there's still over 20 laps to go. Corey Day now gets by Windham, gets by Marks. Corey Day is up to 8th from the work area.
Corey Day is absolutely trucking in car number 14.
And he was doing amazing coming up through the field until...
Oh, Shane Galvin just tagged the wall, him and Corey Day.
And then to have another incident, you know, it's so disappointing for him. And then you forget because he's now on a national level racing, and now we're talking about points because it was a points night.
It will be 6 sprint car wins in a row. Kyle Larson wins at the Thunderbowl. Rico Abreu second, third goes to Brad Sweet, fourth is G.
Obviously, I knew that I got a bit lucky with Corey getting wrapped up in that wreck because I thought he would be my biggest competition that night.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. After the race, never happy if you crash out.
But it was a tire? Yeah. Oh, it shredded it that bad?
We got tangled up and we didn't get to race each other, but I'm okay with that because I was able to get the win because of it.
He's not very good. He knows that he has to suck it up and come out and be here with his fans and his people, come out and put a smile on, because that's all you can do, you know? Move on to the next one.
Yeah, I was excited to go to Hanford. So you can race one night and suck, and then, you know, you got a chance to redeem yourself the next night usually.
No two tracks are the same. You can go to the same track 2 nights in a row and they're different. You know, it's not like you can just put a setup in and that works everywhere. You're constantly searching for what's gonna work, you know, on that individual night, at that track, with that scenario.
To have a competitive race car against, you know, Brad and Tyler Courtney every night, and, you know, Rico, it's tough. You know, I got to be on my A game in the driver's seat, and my crew chief's got to be on his A game with the wrenches.
To be at the highest level of sprint car racing, you definitely need to be focused on, you know, every little detail to make sure that you're 100% prepared night in and night out.
Competition has been elevated for sure, and we have 16 full-time guys that are traveling 3/4 of the way into the season right now, which I did not expect, and I think they make it fun to be a part of the series. That's why you still see 16 teams here out on the tour.
It is a stacked field. There's 15 of them that could win the thing any night.
And I think you can see with how many different winners there's been this year that the depth has been huge.
There's something about racing on the West Coast that always just makes me a little bit more excited. And California has really showed up in the last few years as a hotbed for talent.
Everyone's good. California builds champions, as you've seen with Brad and you know, Kyle and Rico, and I guess myself is the newest one that's on the road out of California.
Night number 2 of the West Coast Swing here with Kubota High Limit Racing. It is Kings Speedway in Hanford, California. We're getting ready to go. Folks, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, just excited for another epic night. I know Corey Day's really fast here, so I know he'll be hard to beat.
I'm looking for finishing the main event, not crashing tonight, or getting crashed.
This would be such a hard flick. Ooh. Almost $7 on the drain. $7 whole dollars. All I know is Corey's racing. It's my best guess. He just told me to come, so I'm out here. You have to push toward him? Yeah. Yeah, I have no clue what they're doing. They keep gassing around one lap and bunch up again.
Yeah, it was really cool to have my friends there. Cannon and Ryland, we've gotten really close like over this past year, but you know, I've raced on the road all year. You know, every time I come home, I call them immediately. They're kind of my way of just, you know, with them, I'm a normal 18-year-old kid. You know, we don't really talk about the fact I drive race cars. Finally, yeah, I had the chance to bring them.
Yeah, I've been to Hanford and Tulare before, but that was last year, and I only went twice. That's my first go.
This is your first race?
This is my first race. You got me merge, free pit pass, so I can go anywhere today. Just here for the adventure.
Sanders and Kading from the front row. 8 laps, top 5. Underway.
Ryland, I remember Ryland saying like he couldn't believe how like fast we went into the corner. You know, that's one thing that people don't realize about sprint cars is, you know, we go wide open 130 miles an hour into a hairpin corner and turn around and go the other way. So like you can watch video and listen to it on video, but until you're there and you know, see it and smell it and feel it, you don't really realize it.
Corey Day looking to track down the number 2 car. Justin Sanders looks inside in turn number 1. Sanders knows he's there, but pulls away down the back straightaway.
When I come home, I can tell them what I do and show them video, but, you know, they both said, after they went, they were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's kind of opened their eyes.
Corey Day is stepping it up to the high scary side, turns 1 and 2, trying to find some speed up there, and it looks like it might be working for him, as Sanders is keeping the MidTreeConstruction.com number 2X on the bottom. As I say that, he goes up to the top. Corey Day tries to slide it. They nearly got together. Close call right there as Day trying to put a slider on him for the race lead in a dash position. And Justin Sanders is going to go to the pole shootout here tonight. He wins TJ Ford's heat race number 1. Corey Day second, Bud Kading third, DJ Netto fourth, and Corey Eliason in fifth.
All right, that's Justin Sanders getting the job done here in TJ Ford's heat race number 1. Chase, you know it's a good thing when you can hold off Corey Day.
How long till your next race?
Like tomorrow?
No. It's like, you don't race tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in like 30 minutes probably.
Is that the final or the?
Yeah. All right, let's go. Good luck. Have a good race.
There is a very, very strong contingent of local West Coast racers out here. None, maybe, a bigger threat to the high rollers than Justin Sanders in that 2X. I think 5 feature wins out here on the West Coast so far.
I just think he's got this reputation like, you know, I don't give a like, I don't care what your opinion of me is. I think sprint car racing needs those personalities. I mean, yeah, he ruffles some feathers throughout the years, so I think he's a good competitor to have.
Race fans, you know what's coming up next. We want you to get ready here. And when these drivers go 4 wide, make some noise next time by. Kings Speedway, welcome to the High Limit Room.
There's Corey right there.
Brad Sweet, Tyler Courtney from the front row. Rico, Abreu, and Justin Sanders in row 2. Cole Macedo and Jock Goodyear in row 3. Corey Eliason and James McFadden in row 4.
They're pushing.
Corey Day and Justin Peck in the 5th row.
Ow.
Let's go racing off at turn number 4. We are green. Rico, Abreu back into the 3rd spot as Sanders got crossed up by a lap car. Now Abreu makes his way around the outside of Marks for that spot right there as Marks is a lap down. Corey Day battling Justin Sanders right there for an inside the top 5 spot. Car way off the track, into the wall hard. Justin Sanders got together with Corey Day, and he got sent.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
And probably not going to be too happy. From what I saw right there, it did not look like a clear slider. And you can tell he's giving him the single finger salute there.
Whoops.
A tough incident right there as Day was going to throw a slider on him.
I watched it happen. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was crazy. Corey just freaking ran that guy off. Yeah, I wasn't even looking. I couldn't see him mixed up in that.
Like, I thought I had him cleared, and then I just went into a 4-tire slide, and I was like, oh.
I don't know if he thought that he had more room than he did, but he didn't, and crashed himself with that.
On the real, I'm dead at Placerville tomorrow. He's gonna straight line me.
Justin Sanders not happy with Corey Day right there. Green lights come back on, and Sweet just squirts away from Tyler Courtney down in the turn of 1. Rico got into him.
I blew it in there on the restart and door banged Tyler.
Somehow Courtney keeps on going, but Corey Day is going to take advantage. He gets by Rico. He gets by Sunshine. Corey Day is up into the 2nd spot now.
Yeah, it was good. I think I got to 3rd on, inside 10 laps, and then was battling for the lead with Brad.
I literally was kind of mad about Tulare, so wanted to win Hanford.
Here comes Rico. All of a sudden, the top 4 are all right next to each other. Brad Sweet slides in front of Brent Marks. Corey Day tries to roll the bottom.
And the bottom was way slower than the top, and Brad got away, and Tyler Courtney drove around me.
Here comes Sunshine on the outside. He takes 2nd across the line. Sweet goes through the middle. Here comes Sunshine to the back bumper. Race for the lead down the back straightaway. Tyler Courtney takes it away from Brad Sweet down the back stretch. Tyler Courtney to the top spot. This time by 10 laps to go for Tyler Courtney. Oh, we got one around in turn 4. It's Corey Day.
Just got tight and pushed over the edge and spun out. So yeah, I guess that one was on me. I think we could have won that if you make a different decision. But I think every race car driver can say they could have won a lot of races if made different decisions.
Through 3 and off Murphy Classic.
Hanford just ended up being one of those places that it clicked with us, with me in the car and my crew. We won 20 grand that night. Yeah, we're like, we still got this. We, just get through this trip and, keep Brad at bay, in his home territory, basically.
We were still right there in the hunt, 2 third places, back to back. But I think we were all a little frustrated that we weren't winning like we knew we should be.
Those are really difficult tracks to put together good runs at, and we went on a good run there to where we had some good top 5 finishes.
Well, that sucks. Yeah. That was wild, though. He's not going to be too happy.
And then, I got back to the pit and was kind of depressed almost. So I was slow getting out of the car and...
I'm like getting out of the car, still facing the car, and he come up behind me like yelling, and I still have my helmet on, and I like go to turn around to see who it is, and I should have known it was him.
Get out, get out. You better look at the
We're all fighting for real estate on a racetrack, and sometimes you just don't see eye to eye. There's a lot of respect out there, but some drivers just cross lines at times, and the only way to get drivers to learn sometimes is to go, shake them a little bit.
It's their MO. All they do is want to fight and think they're a bunch of tough guys. He did that with me when I raced with him when he was young. So he never learns a lesson. He's never wrong. It's just a POS. So him and I will get it worked out at another track one day.
It's a completely different side of Corey I don't ever get to see now. Yeah. But it's cool.
Two races into the California swing, Corey Day is having a rough start. With a DNF at Tulare and a 17th place at Hanford, Corey Day may have just taken himself out of the running for the high limit charter. As the California swing continues north, Kubota High Limit will travel to Brad Sweet's home track, the Silver Dollar Speedway, where the high rollers will compete for the biggest payday of the series. We'll find out which drivers are all in and who will fold under the pressure.
How about a round of applause for our 16 high rollers here this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Brad Sweet, he's at the top of sprint car racing. Who's better in a wing sprint car than Brad Sweet? Nobody.
Hey,
I love being the villain.
Rico, baby, Rico!
Rico Abreu is the single best personality we have in sprint car racing. Big peck energy.
Brent Marks, the silent assassin.
He's got shoe in hand, James McFadden. Oh, upside down front straightaway, red flag comes out. Oh, we got one down in there. I think that was the Dirt 2 guy.
Are you ready to go sprint car racing?
The race crowd is a party crowd.
Yeah!
Oh, this girl's in her bikini.
The bikini contest, who's excited?
Tore out race car for no real racing, but that's racing, mate.